All right, where's all my stuff? Hi guys! Today I'm going to talk about some cheap hacks or ways to reuse things that you might have around the house in order to save money or just to eliminate waste, repurpose, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to show you some of my plant hacks. First one I'm going to talk about is chopsticks. If you ever order takeout, you typically are given chopsticks. I hate throwing them out because I find it so wasteful, and I figure I can totally use these in some way, shape, or form, right? They're fantastic for mini plant stakes. If I have a very small plant that leans or just needs a little stability, I'll stick one of these in with it, and it works wonderfully. I also use them to aerate soil. So sometimes after I've watered a plant over a period of time, the soil becomes impacted and gets too tight or hard. These are fantastic for putting holes in the soil in order for the water to get in there a little bit better. Sometimes I've also used these as little shovels, especially when I'm planting propagations with very fine roots. These are fantastic for navigating the soil medium around in order to not break or harm the roots. And yeah, so this is my #1 recommended reusable item. And keeping in theme with takeout restaurants, especially with the pandemic, we're all ordering food, we all get takeout containers, and especially if they are clear, I most definitely reuse them, or at least have a clear lid, because then you're able to ensure that light gets through. But these make fantastic propagation containers. This one especially I will use for new cuttings or maybe wet sticks, roots, you know, things of that nature. But I will put my soil medium in the bottom, and then I will put in my propagation, stick the lid on. You could poke a few holes in the top if you want to ensure that it's getting some air movement in there, but this is fantastic for holding in humidity. They'll make great little mini terrariums. I have also been known to take said container and put it over my pot to also help increase the humidity. And as you can see, all the moisture built up on the side, it's fantastic. So I create my own little air pocket bubble in there. I'll take them off every once in a while just to make sure that the plants are getting oxygen, but yeah, this works great. So another thing I reuse as far as plastic is concerned are soda bottles. Liter bottles are larger and obviously work much better, but the quart-size bottle work actually just as well, and I have multiple uses for this actually. The first is to cut it in half. I use it to hold my 4-inch pots, especially my propagations or anything that I usually have in a 4-inch pot. If I don't have a cover pot, I like it to catch my water. As you can see, I need to repot my cute little avocado tree, but yeah, so when I water it, it catches the water and I don't have to worry about it ruining my furniture. I will also take said bottle, and I don't waste the top half. Oh no, but then this also becomes a terrarium. Everything's terrariums with me right now. So this actually works as a great way of holding in humidity too. It just so happens that these little glass jars I got at the dollar store. Hint, hint, this is going to be the next thing I feature. But they fit so perfectly around it, and I can just set it on top. It holds in humidity. I could take the cap off if I want a little bit of airflow, or if I don't, I could put the cap back on and it seals it up. Come on guys, I mean, we're making less trash and we're getting humidity. Now these little glass jars I got at the dollar store. These are actually candle holders, and as you can see, they make awesome terrariums. I bought probably a dozen of these for my wedding, and we use these as votive holders for the tables. And afterwards, obviously, I don't know what I'm going to do with the dozen jars, but I kept half of them, my mom kept the other half, and now I use them as propagation containers, and I will put sphagnum moss in them, put a few leaves in there, and they grow. They hold in humidity okay because the top is so open, so depending on what I'm propagating, obviously some things need a little more airflow than others. I will either leave it open or stick my plastic on top. And I like this so much better than plastic wrap because if I need to get into it, I don't have to unwrap it. And then if I don't, I can seal it up. So yeah, this has been fantastic. Another quick find, I think for the most part, you'll find these in most Targets, but in the front section at Target, they have the little 135 section where you find like dollar items. And I found these. And these are perfect propagation vessels. They are called bud vases, which are used for decoration. I'm assuming that you would put a flower bud in it and make a little flower holder for it, but how perfect are they for propagation vessels? It was $3 for 3, and why not? I mean, you could probably even like have a piece of wood and drill in little holes for these to sit in and make a cute little decorative propagation station, which you see on Amazon for like 20 bucks. So you can make your own, or you could just have them like this. Or I've also seen other people tie like macrame or like some kind of twine or rope or something around and hang them from a window or a wall or something and make it really cute. I mean, you can be creative about it, but I mean, for $3 at Target, and even if your Target doesn't have one, I guarantee you'll find stuff like this at the dollar store. So don't be afraid of the dollar store, because I am not. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Okay, so if you've ever seen my channel before, you may have seen me put my dirt together, and I have these plastic containers in which I use to hold my medium. I mean, I don't like to leave them in the bags because it just creates a mess, and especially with perlite, because it leaves that dust everywhere, that's really bad for your lungs and it's really bad to breathe in. I like to put it in a sealed container, so if I shift it in any way, shape, or form, I'm not blowing that dust all over, just for tidiness and because I'm one of those people that like to have things labeled and neat. I use either cereal containers from the dollar store, which I don't think these are exactly $1. They're probably like $2, but it's organization, you know, it just makes it so much easier. So you can either use a cereal container, or because my husband and I go through a lot of protein, I reuse my protein jugs, and these have been fantastic to hold my medium. So this one I specifically have bark chips, like orchid bark basically, in here. I can easily access my bark chips. I often will have a scoop that I can scoop it out or pour it out, however if I plan on using a lot. And then I just will label them and put my perlite, my bark chips, my worm castings, all the little ingredients that I use. I stick it in an empty one of these once we go through all of our protein, and voila, you have a container to hold your stuff. And then that way too, I can also stack them on each other if I want to store them in vertical space, or I actually just kind of roll them underneath my propagation table here. But however you want to organize, I mean, it's a great idea to reuse old food containers, especially if they're large enough to hold what you need to hold. Do I have anything else? I think that's it. I'm sure you can get really creative with what you have at home, especially if you have, you know, things that you use up and you have the waste containers and you don't want to throw out your plastic containers. because in some way, shape, or form you're gonna find a way to use it. And what better way to use it for something functional that you can organize your plant supplies in and save the environment. I don't know, whatever helps you. But anyways, thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys sticking around, and I will have more content for you soon as I continue to film and bring more things together. Talk to you soon. Bye.